What's shaking, YouTube? Y'all know I'm Bacon. Calzax back on the mic as usual, and today we got another Escape From Tarkov video. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. I want you to join our Discord. Started, I just want to say, to show your appreciation and show us that you enjoyed the video, leave us a like, leave us a comment with your reaction, reread all of the comments, let us know what you want to see. We're out here to talk to you guys and help you guys out with whatever you need. And lastly, I'll go ahead and show you. It's going to take 5 seconds. Please subscribe and turn on those notifications. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, baby. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So today I wanted to talk about 5 tips basically that I want to go through to raise your survival rate in Escape from Tarkov. These are 5 basically simple things that you can follow that, regardless of your ability to play the game, your skill level, what you really know about the game, if you can follow these tips, it's going to at least increase your survival rate. You'll find yourself living through more raids with more loot and feeling those moments of despair where you're just not really sure what to do and what happened. Those will go down if you just follow these tips, okay? So the first tip I have for you is you want to avoid being in danger while you're looting as much as you possibly can in this game. Whether you're playing solo or with a group, you want to avoid being in a dangerous situation or putting your body on the line just for the loot. And also you need to be aware of when you decide to loot. If you just kill someone in the middle of a fight, don't run up and go loot their body specifically. You want to clear the area out, make sure they're alone, things like that. But essentially, the main tip I want to point out with this is there are certain ways you can actually accomplish basically hiding your body a little bit more whenever you're searching. Basically, if you're trying to loot something that's maybe a body in a hallway or something like that, or you're looting on a rooftop where you're exposed a little bit if you're crouching, but if you were to lay down, then that'd be okay. What you can do is click the search button, and there's a small moment of time after you click the search button where you'll be able to either lay down or just move to the side and move your body out of the dangerous situation. This is really smart to do. It just, while you're looting, you're very still, so you want to avoid having this happen and get yourself out of danger as much as you possibly can. The next thing I want to talk about is being aware of your surroundings, and I actually have a clip just from a game I played this past week that I can show you where I was being aware of my surroundings and how it helped me. So here in this clip that I'm about to show you, I'm actually in White Pawn, the White Pawn building of Reserved. This is basically the, I think it's north, it's the building that's closest to the dome on the left side of the map, essentially in the courtyard with the helicopter. It'd be the building that's closest to the dome in that courtyard. Anyway, essentially I'm in this building, I'm coming up from the underground, and as I come up, I'll go ahead and start the clip now. As I come up, you'll see that I start walking and I hear shots, and I see shots coming from up above. I notice them there. I know I can see what direction the bullets are traveling, so I know it's coming from above me. Now it's time to look for the guy. So I start moving up, and I'm just looking for what floor he's on. I know the general area that he's on. I don't know if he's on the roof or not, but I see this grated door and it's closed, so I know that that one's probably locked. He's probably not in there. It requires a key, so I'm going to keep moving up. I check out the roof and stuff, but basically I find this grated door to be open, so I know he's in here because this is closed. It's a locked door. I throw a nade to force his positioning out, and then this is what follows. So I did end up winning the fight. Now I need to move out and heal because he basically messed me up. I should have honestly killed him when he was sprinting out of the room right after I threw the nade, because he wouldn't have his gun up. It would be down, and I could have just taken him out a lot easier without getting hurt. And he even seemed to know where I was. He probably had headphones and just heard which side of the room I was on, or expected me to be on the stairs. I should have probably moved back a little bit and just waited for him to be sprinting out of the room, had a line of sight, and got him right there. But it ended up working out. And just being aware of my surroundings, noticing that he's shooting from up above, taught me that he was above. It's just one of those small details that you can miss if you're not paying attention. Okay, tip number 3, when you are infiltrating a building, I want you to stay alert. In general, this just means assuming that the enemies could be in any corner or around any turn, or just in rooms as you're moving through the building, and you do not want to leave any blind spots behind. So as you're moving through, be very careful and mindful that you need to check every spot. Try to check them one at a time. Don't expose yourself to more angles than one at a time if you can avoid it. Sometimes you can't, and you just got to take a quick peek and look. But even if there's no one in the building, you should still be following this rule, just because you never know if there's a rat hiding around this corner that's going to gun you down immediately. So as you're coming around, you need to be peeking, quickly peeking one area, checking the next, checking every different corner that they could possibly be in with your gun out ready to fire. Otherwise, you might get caught. Often you might get tired of checking every corner and turn like this because there's not always a threat around the corner. So you might just start to get tired or lazy and just like, oh, there's no one here. Just start walking around doing your thing, looking for loot. Okay, but I find that often the corners and turns and rooms that I lazily don't check or leave a blind spot in are the ones that the rat's hiding in and gets me killed. So I just try to stay consistent, stay alert now, and that's what I recommend to you. We could definitely do a video going into more detail about this, maybe watching like some landmark footage or something like that where he goes into a building and just analyzing how he uses this technique, but just let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. Next, I want you to be consistently thinking about whether or not you should take a fight. Know when to take a fight, know when to not. Learn what fights you have advantages in, and learn what fights you had disadvantages in, because you will have disadvantages in some fights and vice versa. There are fights that you should absolutely take as well. But anyway, this ties back into being aware of your surroundings, as I said before. If you listen and you hear a group of 3 closing in on your position, for example, unless you have a line of sight or a trap ready to spring on them, basically a one choke point where they're all going to come through and you're going to be able to gun all 3 down somehow, or throw a nade or something like that, unless you've got this advantage on them, then you hear all 3 closing in on your position at once, they're going to all 3 find you, okay? Then regardless if they know you're there or not, you should get the hell away from that situation if you have the ability to. Put your boots on the ground, soldier, and stay alive, okay? When it comes to groups, you really want to take people out one at a time. You're not trying to engage 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 people all at once. You're going to get yourself killed. You want to try to pick these guys off. And so if you're an interchange and you're just in a hallway and you hear boots, 3 motherfuckers running towards your position, you're just chilling there, you need to get out, leave. Unless you've got a position that you're certain they're not going to find you. Hiding is just not the best idea in that situation. Okay, my next tip, in general, try not to ever stop moving unless you have hard cover from potential uncleared threats. Hard cover, just to give an example, hard cover is something like a wall, a very sturdy object in which even if they throw a grenade behind that wall, it's not going to hurt you. It's hard cover, they cannot hit you through that cover. Soft cover, or just the other form of cover, it would be like something like a bush or something where it's going to give you a concealment, but it's not going to actually protect you if they shoot you through the bush. But anyway, for example, if you are in a small room that you have cleared out completely, you can stop and do what you need because you've cleared it out, you've got hard cover all around you, there are not really any threats. I mean, maybe the doorway, but you can close that, you can hear if they're coming in. You know, you can take care of your inventory, stop, loot, do what you need. On the other hand, if you're in direct line of sight to any potential unconfirmed areas that could have threats, do not stop moving if you can help it. The goal of this is to be a difficult target at all times for enemies. For example, let's say you're in reserve. There are lots of different buildings and vantage points that people have on you. They could be on a rooftop, in a window, at dome. Let's say you're moving through a field or you're moving through the middle of the courtyards and stuff. There can be tons of people with lines of sight on you. You never really know. You should be hauling ass, you should be moving, you are not safe, unless you've confirmed everywhere, which is very difficult to do in those situations. So don't stop moving, otherwise you are a sitting duck. Everyone has an easier time hitting a sitting duck rather than a moving target, it's a fact. Something else that ties into this as well, if you get shot at, such as from a sniper or someone that you don't see, remember to either move laterally away from them or in a zigzag, and by that I just mean you want to be moving either completely side to side from them, because that is one of the hardest targets to hit, a laterally moving target, if you know where their location is and you can move that way. But if you're moving essentially in parallel with them, basically a straight line away from them, you need to be zigzagging side to side to make yourself a harder target. If you're running completely straight, you're actually pretty much as easy to hit as a sitting duck. So just be thinking about that if you can tell the orientation of the enemies around you. So that's all the 5 tips that I have for you guys, but I actually have a bonus tip. This is just not really something that's going to help you survive as much as just a random tip of mine. So go ahead and start your raids with an unloaded gun and reload it right at the start of each raid, okay? Yeah, you might be wondering, why would I ever do this? Why would I bring an unloaded gun into the raid? It doesn't make any sense. I won't be ready to kill someone. Well, as long as you reload it right at the beginning of the start of the raid, you'll be fine. And it will make sure that even if you die on your first clip, which happens a lot, I mean, you know, your first gunfight, you know, sometimes you're gonna get taken out, sometimes you're not. But if you die on that first clip, at least you've had one time where you reloaded, to make sure that you're getting reloading XP in every raid that you go into. You don't want to rely on having to win your first fight and then you reload and get the XP. Just go ahead and get some XP at the beginning of it, no matter what, so you'll get better and better at reloading just by doing this. Just please, if you do this, don't forget to reload your gun, please, because it's happened to me. I've done it and just forgot to reload, got into a fight. Click, click, click. Yeah, it's not fun. But as long as you're mindful about it, it's worth the XP. So it's just like setting your gun to full auto or something like that if you got an assault rifle. You just got to remember to do it. So that'll pretty much do it for me today. Remember to join the Discord. We have an entire community in there. If you guys want to talk to me or anyone else in there, come hop in, join the fun. Remember to, it just takes 5 seconds, leave that like, comment, subscribe. Super easy, and it means so much to hear from you guys. But that's going to do it for me today. Love y'all's faces, and I'll catch you in the next one.